Okay, so I know my music channel, well, it's usually about music and, uploading songs and all. But I guess occasionally I talk about equipment as well. And I figured I guess I'd share my story on a video camera that I recently purchased, which is a GoPro, I think it's 13, version 13 that they're up to. And I'm currently having an issue with it, and I just bought this the other day. And I guess before I get into the issue, I guess I'll talk a little bit about myself when it comes to buying things. I'm the type of person, and maybe I'm old-fashioned, I'm the type of person that will buy something and keep it as long as I can until it absolutely dies. So, for example, my last car that I had before the car I got now, I had for 15 years. I bought it in 2003, and then in 2018, after almost 200,000 miles on it, the trans started to go, and I figured it was time to get a new car. In fact, since I've graduated college, which was a long time ago, like almost 40 years ago, I've only owned 4 cars. I take them all the way to the end. And the same is true with any gadgets that I buy. So, for example, or another example, I bought this MacBook Pro back in 2007 and used it for, I think, I guess almost 11 years, all the way up to 2018 or early 19. And the only reason I upgraded was because of TurboTax. So what happened was TurboTax at some point stopped supporting the operating system that I was using with the Apple, which I think was Snow Leopard or something like that. And Apple was no longer providing updates for this particular computer. So I was forced to upgrade and get a new MacBook Pro. And then also another example is I bought this smartphone, Samsung. I can't remember whether this was a Samsung 4 or 5 or whatever the heck it was in 2018, and I'm still using it. And as long as it does everything that I need it to do, which is basically obviously, make phone calls, text messaging, pictures, and what else? Occasionally surf the internet. That's all I mainly do. I don't really use all these different apps that I've downloaded. Maybe 1 or 2 of them here and there. And I plan on, keeping this phone as long as I can. Now, unfortunately, same thing, and this really gets into the obsolescence, I guess. Samsung, after like 4 years, I guess they decided I needed a new phone and stopped providing updates for Android. So the last version of Android I have on here was done, I think, in 2022. Another example, and I'm sorry for this rant that I'm going to get into, but I know it has to do with me. too, not updating my gadgets. But this iPad here, I got this in 2014. Still works perfectly fine for everything I need to do. Basic internet surfing. I can get my emails on here. And, there's a handful of apps that I use. I can watch Netflix on here. Does everything I need to do. And I think maybe 2 years ago, Apple stopped providing updates. I think I went all the way through ISO number 15 and 15 dot whatever. It might even be still doing the updates for the 15, but I think they're up to 17 now. So at any rate, that's a little bit about me. Now I'll talk about the GoPro. So first, I guess I'll tell you why I bought this. Now, I already have a perfectly functioning camera, which is a Sony EV10, which I'm shooting on right now. That's what I do all my videos on. However, a couple days ago, my friend had a party, a pool party, kind of a reunion pool party of all his old softball buddies. and he asked me to play at it. In fact, just to go off on a quick little tangent here, back in 2007, I videotaped him and his buddies playing a softball game. And he asked me, do I still have that video? And he thought it would be fun if we could show it at the party. And what I ended up doing, we didn't know how to get it on his TV. He has an outdoor TV. So what I did was I uploaded it onto my YouTube channel. So if you see it, it's on there. Originally, I tried to do it unlisted, so only folks that are invited could see it. But you have to email it to him, and his TV obviously can't do email. So he's got a smart TV, so he is up to date on technology. And we watched it on YouTube, and it's there right now, but probably in a few days, I'll probably make it unlisted again. But anyway, let's get to the issue that I'm having with the iPro. So I bought this iPro, the reason why I bought it, I thought it would be good to shoot myself. I was going to shoot myself, videotape myself, doing a couple songs, and I didn't want to bring my really good camera because there was threats of rain that day, and I'm by a pool and water, and I thought if it fell on the ground, I could break it. But I thought, you know what? I always wanted one of these GoPros, and I thought maybe I'll get one of these because, they're very rugged. You could practically throw this thing, and it's indestructible. And plus, I figured I could use it as a B camera. Maybe if I'm taping myself inside here like I am doing now, I can get another camera angle. So I went to Best Buy. They had a great deal. It's like $100 off. They even gave me a $50 gift card. At any rate, I brought it home last Friday, a few days back, and went to go set it up. Now, what I was expecting was, it would take it out of the box and turn it on, and that it would work. Maybe walk me through a few things. And that it would just work. Well, that's not the case. Apparently, when I opened up the box and looked at the first thing that I came out of the box, it says your camera must be updated before you can use it. Okay, so what the heck does that mean? Well, what they want you to do is download onto your smartphone or your iPad or whatever you're using an app called, I think it's called Quick. And then as you're going through the setup on the phone, I guess they pair, and then you need to download the firmware. Now, I would have expected that there'd be some version of firmware already on here so I can use the camera out of the box, but that's just not the way it is these days, I guess, at least with this camera. So when I was going through it, and I'll maybe show you real quick, I'll turn this on here. It beeps. It says GoPro, right? And next it's going to ask me, do I want this in English? And I say yes. Then it's going to ask me, I guess, do I agree to their terms and conditions? And I say agree. Oh, try that again. Do I want it to be GPS enabled? Do I want that on? Sure, I guess what the heck. Turn on control camera using your voice, yes. Voice control, confirm, yes. Then it gets to the QR code. It says to scan this with your phone. Well, what do you think happened? I scanned this to go download the app, the Quick app, and it said my version of, I guess, the Android is not compatible with that. Well, I can't update my Android phone. So then I went and tried my iPad, and I went right to the, I'm going to shut this off. I went right to the App Store with my iPad, and what do you think that said? It said, you need ISO 17. Well, I don't have, ISO 17 because my iPad doesn't go any further than 15. So then the other option, or the third option, is to do it manually. So I said, no problem. Basically, you go to the support page for GoPro and download a file called Update, and that there's a zip file in there to download that onto your, onto your computer. And then it says using, I guess using an SD card reader, take the SD card. What the heck did I do with the camera? Here it is. Take the SD card that's inside the camera, stick it in your SD reader, and do the firmware that way. Well, I had two issues. By the way, it also tells you, I'll just tell you real quick, it tells you to get the serial number off of the camera and that go through, the screen to preferences. That's one way to get the serial number. The second way, and you can't do that, by the way. I can't do that because I can't get beyond the SQ screen. So I can't get the serial number off the menu. So the second way it tells you to get the serial number, if I can open this again, let's see if I got it the right way. Let's see, am I over here? Oh, maybe it's over here. Here we go. The second way to get it, just give me 1 second. Here we go. The second way to get it, take the battery out to get the serial number, is it's inside by the battery compartment. Now, I can't see this at all. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I use the strongest reading glasses outside right underneath the sun, and I cannot get this serial number. I can't read it. Luckily, they also have the serial number on the box here. Somewhere on the box. Here it is. It's down on the bottom. Luckily, I got it off of there. So at any rate, back to the issue for me that I was having with the firmware, besides trying to do it all with the app, which I can't do. So I downloaded I guess I downloaded the update from their website, put it on my computer, and I went to go look for the zip file. And I'll show you this in a minute or at the end of this video. And there's no zip file in what I downloaded. I downloaded it for a Mac, and there's 3 files there, but none of them are a zip. So I do not have the zip file. And I'm familiar with the zip file. I know what you need to do. You open up the zip file, then it's going to want me to, transfer it over to the SD card using my SD reader, which I don't own. I don't own an SD reader. I've never needed to own an SD reader because normally when I hook up my devices, like my Model 12 here, or this camera that I have over here, or my Zoom recorder here, it automatically sees the SD card, and that acts as a reader. So when I went to, sorry, there's a phone ringing in the background. When I went to hook up, so 2 things. I'm not getting the zip file, and when I went to hook this up, to my computer, it doesn't even see it. It probably doesn't see it because it doesn't have the firmware. That's my guess. So that's it. That's my little rant here. And I know this is a great device, a lot of great reviews. Folks that are all up to date using the latest gadgets have no problem. But I'm an old timer. I expect to pull something out of the box and have it worked. Now I will say, just before I end this, I did send GoPro I guess an email and opened up a case number. I'm waiting for them to respond to me. Again, where I stand right now is I can't open up that zip file. I'll go out and buy a card reader, but I got to be able to open up that zip file next. And that's it. I'll show you the where I stand with the little demo at the end as far as not seeing a zip file. And if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. And that's my little rant, complaint, and we'll talk to you next time. Okay, so technology is great. It's great when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's it can be a nightmare. I mean, I'm envisioning, just a real funny thing real quick here. I'm envisioning when I finally do get my next car, somewhere somewhere out in the future that it might even be fully self-driving, right? With all the latest technology, and I'm envisioning having that car the way I hold on to things for 7 or 8 years, and then one day I go to get on Route 80, major highway near me, which cuts right across the USA, and I get a message: my car is not compatible for driving on Route 80. I need to have the latest software. However, I can't download the latest software because the car I own doesn't support it anymore. Anyway, just a little funny thing there, but hopefully you can hear me okay here. I am on my MacBook Pro's microphone, but just to show you the issue that I'm currently having with trying to do this manually. So again, if you go to the GoPro website, it says how to update your Hero 13. Update your you can either update using your camera, using the quick app, which, as I explained, I can't do because my my devices are not up to date. So I'm forced to doing this manually. So update your camera manually, and I give you a choice: Mac OS, I guess that means Mac computer, or Windows. So I go to Mac OS right here. And you'll see they got some photos. You're supposed to have a disc reader. Again, I don't own one of these yet, but I'll go out and buy one. But it basically says you download the update, and once you do that, you should see, if you could see this here, on your computer will be a zip file, like when you open it. Well, I'm not getting that zip file. And I might be doing something wrong, and maybe somebody can, explain what I'm doing wrong here. But I go, I'll actually do it. Download update. Try it again. Whoops. Download update. Allow. Bingo. It's doing its thing. Give that like a minute here. I guess while I'm waiting, I'm sorry about that, the phone ringing there too before, and I'm one of the folks that still own a landline phone. Normally I plug it whenever I'm doing a video, but I forgot to do it, and I'm too lazy to go and reshoot this. But a real funny thing on that, my niece was here several months back with her kids. I think one's like 9 or 10, the other one might be 12, but they have never seen a landline phone before. They were totally amazed by it. All right, so let's go back over here. So if I go to downloads, there's the update, right? Came in today, or whatever time it is here. Open up update. There's no zip file. There's 3 files. I don't know what they do. I click on them. I get an error message. There's no update.zip file. So that's my main problem here. So as I mentioned, I sent an email and opened up a case with GoPro. I'm waiting to hear back from them. If I hear back from them, within the next day or so before I upload this video, I'll give an update on that. Otherwise, I'll end up uploading this video. If I have updates in the future, I'll just update it in the description. And yeah, if I can't get this thing working, obviously I'm gonna unfortunately have to send it back to Best Buy. So that's it. That's my story, and take care. Okay, so some good news. So before I was going to upload this video onto YouTube, after playing around and trying to figure out what was going on, I was able to figure out what my issue was and get the firmware updated on here. As you can see, the GoPro is now working, and I'll explain what the issue was, which was probably, some may say, a user issue, meaning myself, but I'll explain. So when I went to GoPro's website to do this manually rather than using the app, there was a file, and their instructions and all say that there's a file called Update.zip. In other words, it's a zip file. So I was expecting, after I did the download, to see a file called Update.zip on my Mac computer. And it turns out it just says update. So I assumed that I did not get the zip file. And I think what might have happened is, I'm not positive, it's possible that maybe my MacBook Pro might have automatically unzipped it and gave me the update file. That's my only guess. I'm not sure. So I do have the right file. I was able to download the right file. I did have to, however, go out and buy a card reader, an SD card reader. So I went out and bought one of these, and then what I did was I took the SD, the micro SD card, stuck it in here. I took the update file on my Mac from my downloads. I dragged it over to the SD card. I stuck the card in here. I turned this on, and then it did its firmware update. So I was good to go. I guess I'll point out a couple things though before I get off here. My computer, my MacBook Pro, still does not recognize this camera. So after shooting a video and even having the firmware on here, when I connect this to my computer, it still doesn't see it like it does with all my other gadgets that I have. The workaround, and folks that are more savvy maybe with a Mac may be familiar with something called image capture. If you go into your applications, I should shut this off, it's beeping. If you go into your applications, and I think it's under utility, you'll see a program, I guess, called image capture. And what I did was, once I opened up image capture, I was able to see the videos that I shot on the disk, and that's how I dragged it over. Otherwise, you got to take that disk out and use one of these separate card readers, which are pain in the ass, like I said before. So I guess just in summary, so yeah, it was probably a user error, and I'm still posting this video in case other folks have a similar problem. They can't use the apps because their devices are obsolete like mine. They're trying to do this manually. They're expecting a zip file. They may not see it. So I'm going to still post up the video. But just to summarize, I really wish GoPro would have their devices with some basic firmware so you can use them out of the box. I also wish that when you hooked up the device to your computer, it would see it. Not sure if it's an issue with my Mac. I think I'm running the latest version of it. Other than that, what else can I say here? I'm still waiting for GoPro to get back to me. I opened up a case on Sunday. That was 3 days ago. They did acknowledge that they got my case number with an email back. They did say it may take a couple days, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But as of now, I still haven't heard back from them. But that's it. I'm good to go, and so far I'm happy with this GoPro. I shot some videos with it. One of the things I really like about it is when I'm outside and moving the camera around, it has really good image stabilization. The picture looks nice and steady, unlike some of my my other cameras. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.